Today I want to talk about longevity. So living longer, but also healthier and happier and just living your best life for as long as possible. So if this is something you're interested in, watch this whole video and I'm going to give you 3 of the most cutting edge tips on how to boost longevity. Okay, so like I said, today's video is all about longevity. This is a very trending topic right now. The way technology is advancing is so rapid, and I think that there's a lot of things that maybe people don't know. And I also think that sometimes there's a lot of information out there, so to really know what the best thing is, I'm hoping this video will make it a little bit easier for you. So I will say in today's video, I'm going to skip the basic things that we all know already. So you know that you have to, exercise, eat healthy, drink water, don't smoke cigarettes, avoid alcohol, like little things like that that we've all known, like health tips throughout life. I really want to get into like the more advanced, like cutting edge, like what can we do to like really like impact and improve the quality of our life for as long as possible. I also think people are now noticing, I feel like when I was like 5 or 6 or even 10, I thought 30 was so old. Like I pictured myself with like a briefcase and a suit, like going into the office with kids, and like none of that happened yet. So I think that, 30 is the new 20 and 40 is the new 30. And because we're all living longer and learning to enjoy life longer. So that's also kind of the theme of this video. So let's just get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is telomeres, which, stick with me, I know sounds a little bit complicated, but this is something I really highly recommend just understanding and getting into. So telomeres are basically the ends of chromosomes. Chromosomes are a part of our DNA. That's as scientific as I'm gonna get there. So telomeres protect basically a part of your DNA, and you can kind of picture them like the end of a shoelace, like the little plastic part in a shoelace that protects it from unraveling. A lot of scientists and medical professionals will refer to telomeres as this. So as we age, our cells are constantly dividing. They're dividing all the time anyway. And every time they divide, the telomeres, which are like the little protective plastic things, get a little bit shorter and shorter. Now, as we age, as we are exposed to environmental stressors and different factors like pollution, smoking, anything, whatever it is, these telomeres aren't able to stay as long. They get shorter and shorter, and they're not able to kind of, stay as protective and basically exist as long. So what, years of research has figured out is if we can find ways to keep these telomeres from shortening, then we can expand our life and even expand like the health of our life and how healthy we are. They also associate short telomeres with disease, with cancer, basically with just an unhealthier life. So there's different ways that we're figuring out how to do this. There's really no magic pill yet that has gotten this quite figured out, but one of the best things you can do for this is meditation. And I purposely didn't want to just, in the beginning of this video, just say meditation, because I feel like sometimes when you hear the same thing over and over again, like it sounds cliche or like, oh, like, meditation can help so many different things. But right now I just want to focus on this. This is very much like a thing. It's really studied. There's so much data on it. So one study was actually conducted on cancer survivors. These were people with breast cancer. And when you're undergoing chemotherapy, this is just another, environmental or, medical stressor that can shorten the telomere length. So they took this group of people, and half of them were meditating and half of them weren't. And they showed in the results like how much healthier and how much longer the telomeres were on the group of patients that were meditating versus the ones that weren't. So that's really it. I hope that doesn't sound too complicated. I think once I explain, you can see it's not that hard to understand. And meditation, besides this, there's just so many different reasons to do it. I do just want to give you guys one tip on meditation. I personally had a lot of trouble until I took a course. So if you're able to find a meditation course, I highly recommend investing in it. This is something that can, prevent disease, help you cure disease, have you living healthier longer. It's like a non-negotiable. So definitely look into meditation. The next thing I want to talk about is infrared therapy. So infrared therapy can be anything from an infrared sauna to an infrared bed. Basically, it's using different types of light. So you've got red light, blue light, there's different wavelengths. And this light basically goes in, it kind of activates your cells to almost like increases energy within your cells. And it can activate your white blood cells to repair tissue damage, which is great, especially for like let's say after a workout. A lot of athletes like to do it to prevent, injury. It can help you detox. It's great for detox. It helps reduce stress, anxiety. just stress on your overall body, not even necessarily stress you're feeling emotionally. I personally like the LED beds more than the saunas you go into, because a lot of studies show that the closer it is to your body, the more you're gonna have that effect. So you can go lay down on one, you can put headphones in. There's a lot of different spas that are offering it now. You know, LED light and LED therapy in general is really something that's booming and a lot of people use. I'm sure you've seen everyone wearing like the LED masks because it does boost collagen production. They actually even have different colors. I have a handheld one that I use sometimes. I have the orange one, which can help with like healing. So if you have a scar or a cut or you have swelling, you can put it on like twice a day for 20 minutes and it helps. All around, I just think there's so many benefits to it. Detoxing specifically is my favorite, but also stress relief. And this is similar to the last one when I was talking about telomeres. I didn't want to just start this topic by saying stress relief, because it's one of those things that like we hear and we're like, yeah, I've been there, done that. But stress is so important. Stress in your body can lead to inflammation. Inflammation can lead to pretty much any disease. So things like this that are so advanced that we can do to really calm the stress in your body are huge. So this is a really great innovative one that I think you guys should look into. And the last thing I want to cover is intermittent fasting. Now I have covered this in a previous video. I kind of covered the different benefits and why people do it. So there are obviously weight loss benefits, but in terms of this, I'm really just referring to lifespan and longevity. I actually practice intermittent fasting specifically for longevity. You know, I eat a pretty healthy diet, so weight loss wasn't something I was concerned with. But what happens when you fast? Basically, when you fast for anywhere from 16 to 18 hours a day and you only eat within a 6 to 8 hour window a day, the amount of repair that goes on in your body is just astronomical. There's so much data right now that's showing it. It's like almost, I mean, everyone's really excited about it. I know in Bali, a lot of people there are very innovative on like what's up and coming, like new and like natural health remedies, and everyone there is now doing an 18-hour fast. I personally do a 16. I'm afraid I'm actually gonna lose too much weight if I do 18 because I can't eat everything in that 6-hour span. But 16 is still perfectly fine. Basically, when your body is not working so hard to digest everything, when we're constantly snacking all the time and eating and drinking and whatever, it's doing so much work to digest, it can't actually go into repair mode and do the other things it's supposed to do. And our bodies are actually so intelligent, and there's so much it just does innately. So when you give it that time to fast and you're not, you know, bombarding it with food, it goes into autophagy, which is basically when your body eats its own cells. So it'll eat away cancer cells, dead cells, anything that's toxic, and you pretty much just detox yourself. So intermittent fasting is something I'd recommend you guys trying, even if it's like 3 or 4 days a week and not every day of the week. I will just tell you that when I heard about intermittent fasting, I was like, yeah, right, that could never work for me because I'm such a snacker. I used to wake up, immediately eat something, eat late at night, and it's gotten so easy for me. Like I really have acclimated to it. It's not hard. I used to also say that I could never give up meat or like be vegan, and I've been vegan for 6 years. So you never know what you're capable of, and just give yourself a chance to try it and experiment with it. If you have any questions on intermittent fasting, I will link that video below because I go into more detail on that specifically. But those are my 3 tips on longevity. I think that everyone watching this should really take these into consideration. We're really lucky that we're living in an era where we're figuring out so much and we're living longer and living healthier. And you know, it's not all about just living to a certain age. Like you want to live comfortably and be able to enjoy yourself, and don't take like how good you feel now, especially if you're in your 20s or 30s and you feel really good and healthy and full of energy. Don't take that for granted. Like let's try to preserve that as much as we can. So try implementing these things, and as more stuff comes out, I will share more of the tips and how to incorporate it. So if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments, and please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this video, and I'll see you next time.